You've learned about the basics in my first guide, and now you want to get the most out of your upgrades and weapons. You're in the right place. Don't forget to sub to my underrated channel to make it easier to find me again. During your run, you'll collect crystal skulls and jade rings. Skulls help you upgrade things like blessings, gear quality, and number of weapon pedestals, and number of divine favors, which let you shuffle options when shopping, while jade rings let you unlock weapons you found during your run. Note that once you've bought everything, there's nothing you can do with skulls and rings. They just keep accumulating. Upgrading weapons with gold during your run increases the damage, and if the weapon is at level 1 or 2 when you first upgrade it, it'll add another buff. At level 3 or higher, it'll only upgrade the damage, and the cost increases with the level. Heavy weapons and bombs can break most traps and cracks in walls, and they interrupt the enemy, but you can't dodge or parry for a short time after an attack with these weapons. Most mobs can get interrupted constantly, even if you're attacking with no stamina, but bosses aren't affected in the same way. Instead, you can start attacking and use up all your stamina to get a few extra hits on bosses, but back away once your stamina is depleted or when there are other threats that might get you. Also note that bombs can ricochet off objects and hurt you, so be careful. Charged shots from the bow pierce enemies and restore 1 stamina per enemy hit. You can also dodge right after a shot to do a special dodge that doesn't consume stamina. Charged attacks from the whip pulls and interrupts the enemy. The offhand finisher is a good AoE attack which knocks enemies back, and attacking twice crits on the second hit. The spear will always crit if you hit the enemy with the tip of the spear. The combo finisher also interrupts the enemy, and the charged attack is a decent AoE attack. Daggers are really powerful and one of my favorite weapons. Attacking twice interrupts enemies. You also crit anytime you hit enemies from behind, and the offhand combo automatically dodges the enemy attacks and puts space between you and your foe. The charged attack is also a great way to close the gap and slice and dice your enemies. I like to use this to initiate an attack and continue into another combo. Shields can be great weapons if you're playing safe. They make the parry window slightly larger, and charged attacks vault you forward, ignoring most attacks and interrupting regular enemies. All shield attacks push enemies, great for knocking them into traps, which activate whenever they're pushed in range. Waiting for the pistol aimer to flash gives you a perfect shot, which deals crits, and the offhand combo interrupts regular enemies. One pistol worth unlocking is the Alchemist Fire Stick, which gives you 2 times the gold for each kill with your gun. Throwing weapons are great for keeping your distance, and charged attacks automatically hit multiple nearby enemies, while combo finishers deal crits. Claws were one of my favorite main weapons. The charged attack moves through enemies and crits from behind. I loved pairing the claw with a dagger or shield so I could get in close, apply some damage, and then offhand combo the enemy away. One-handed mace and swords are pretty straightforward. The mace charged attack deals 2 times damage, and the sword combo finishers deal crits. Final note on weapons. Cursed weapons you unlock later on snuff out fires and interact with your other status effects in cool ways, which I explained in my basics video. There's also a handful of other weapons which destroy traps and cracks in walls, so experiment with everything you find. Now to teach you what upgrades and blessings to look for. Starting at the end, Divine Favors lets you shuffle your options when buying from anything other than a weapon upgrade shrine. The first few levels are super cheap and can be very helpful. Weapon altars are the places where you get your starter gear for a run. Unlocking more altars gets crazy expensive, but it's nice to have more options for sure. I focused on upgrading the quality of the items before I finished unlocking all the altars themselves. Finally, blessings. Loosely, the top row focuses on strength, the middle row on agility, and the bottom row on perception. Here are some upgrades I recommend. You pick the ones that match your playstyle. Tamok's Breath costs 150, but allows any weapon which doesn't already have a status effect like poison, electricity, or dark damage to have a 50% chance to strike with fire. Light really helps out, and you won't need to switch to your torches often. Tamok's Protection only costs 10 skulls and causes fire to illuminate farther and reduces all damage taken by 20% while in the light. Favor of Sich'al only costs 10 skulls as well. It automatically gives you 1000 gold and 5 perception at the start of your run, and this helps out a lot, especially in the short early levels. Reptilian Hunger costs a monster 250 skulls, but it's worth it. You know that greed counter which only goes up if you attack enemies before the timer expires? This blessing causes the counter to never run out of time in between attacks or rooms and only cancels if you get hit. It increases your damage by 1% per active greed kill count, up to 50%. Incredible! Will of Sich'al costs 45 skulls and increases your corruption bar from 100 to 120. This basically gives you an entire extra corruption bar before reaching the 5th curse, allowing you to choose corruption while saving cash more often. Serpent's bounty costs 90 skulls and causes all non-optional champions and bosses found at the breaks between areas to drop 5 pieces of gear instead of 2. Even if you can't use all the drops, you can just offer them to the gods and keep improving. Don't forget that if you equip gear or or accessories, you can't offer them to the gods anymore. Thanks for subbing and sharing my underrated channel. Click here to learn how to defeat all the bosses and how to make it through the final trial as well.